Buddhism, mysticism, and various New Age movements today all discuss how to achieve the dissolution of the self. The underlying logic is that the self is bad, identity is worse, and having an ego is simply the worst of all. The general idea is that without a self, we can live more fulfilling lives, becoming calmer, happier, and more present. But there is a limit to this. Imagine you are standing in front of a hungry tiger. You are going to die if you don't act. What is the natural response in this situation? Fear. Fear and the fight or flight response, honed by billions of years of evolution. It is our fundamental self-preserving instinct. Fear is where identity begins. The most basic primal fear is the fear for our own survival. I care about my existence even if I don't think about it constantly, simply because I am not in perpetual danger. This primal fear cannot be removed or transcended. There is no way to get rid of it. It can be suppressed, but suppressing an instinct only creates other problems. Consider the enlightened Buddhist teacher or the master who claims there is no self. Has he truly managed to remove the self completely, overriding billions of years of evolution? Or has he simply suppressed it and is now lying to his followers and perhaps himself? If it were truly possible to discard identity and therefore fear, we would likely see a much higher global suicide rate, especially in religious contexts. Without fear, there is no inherent difference between life and death, but that doesn't happen. Instead, all major religions consider suicide wrong or immoral, which aligns perfectly with our biological nature. There are Zen stories of old, dying Zen masters who face their final moments without fear as a final lesson on the naturalness of death. However, there are no inspiring stories about someone choosing suicide as a path to spiritual awakening. Those stories are always horrifying. Having fear and an identity is not bad news. Why should it be? You are a living being who cares about staying alive. From a psychological perspective, why are people so desperate to achieve the dissolution of the self? What is so captivating about it? Let's find out by asking a simple question. Ask yourself, who am I? It is a fascinating question because no matter how long you ask it, there is never a definitive answer. I am a philosopher. That is just an arbitrary label. I am black or white, man or woman. That is just a description. I am an introvert. That might be true, but is that who I am, or who I choose to be, because I feel uncomfortable around others? Why do I feel that way? Is it because of what happened in my childhood? You can never truly pinpoint the self. Instead of a solid identity, you find only ideas you have about yourself, ideas that are often created by fear. If childhood trauma made you afraid of people, you may believe you are naturally shy and that other people are bad or evil unless they try hard to get to know you. We all carry a surplus of fear and identity layers that block us from a fulfilling life. They make us neurotic. These layers rarely dissolve on their own. Our brains are hardwired to take fear seriously because it ensures survival, even if the original threat, like a childhood bully, is long gone. This is where the guru enters, charging $50 per session to tell you there is no self. He is right though, but not about the self, but about the neurotic self. Imagine the intensity and strength of your fears as a gradient. We all have some surplus fear and identity, but who cares if they aren't hindering the quality of our lives? If fear and identity grow stronger, you become neurotic. You may struggle with yourself and your quality of life. However, it is a life that is still enjoyable for the most part. One day, you might be lucky enough to notice the problem and even act on it. When fear and identity become even more intense, they become pathological. You live in constant fear, and your ego is the only thing that matters. You become highly neurotic, And often an intense reality check, or hitting rock bottom, is the only way to realize it. We now see the whole picture. The dissolution of the neurotic self is possible. Our primal true self is here for emergencies. It cannot be dissolved, and that is perfectly okay.